for joining us on the program where a topic of national interest gets our attention. And we will begin by bringing you up to date with news that made headlines during the week. But first, before we even start that, happy Eid al-Fitr to all Muslims all around the world. May this season bring forth bountiful harvest for all of us all. Both Christian, Muslim, whatever religion you might be practicing, may it be a good one for all of us. And now to news that made headlines during the week. The federal government declared Monday, March 31st and Tuesday, April 1st, 2025 as public holidays to mark the Eid al-Fitr celebration. The announcement was made by the Minister of the Interior, Dr. Tunjojo, on behalf of the federal government. Also, the senators from the southeastern region appealed to President Bola Tinubu to honor Humphrey Nwosu. Earlier on Wednesday, in a debate on the floor of the Senate, some lawmakers had blocked a motion seeking to immortalize late Humphrey Nwosu, a former INEC chairman. Also, Governor Ademola Adeleke on Friday reviewed the 24-hour curfew imposed on Ifon, Lobo, and Mushin over communal walk to 17 hours, barely a day after the Olobo of Lobo over Ashiru Olaniyan urged the governor to relax the curfew to allow residents access to rooms. And on to stories that get our attention today, Vice President Kashim Shettima urged Nigerians to pray for President Bola Tinubu's leadership as well as the stability and progress of the country as Ramadan ends. Also, 24 hours after passing for second reading, two bills to review the death penalty law and removal of immunity for the office of the Vice President, governors and deputy governor, the House of Representatives received a decision on the proposed legislation. Details of these and more get our attention today. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to today's episode of Firecrackers. My name is Ribani Sawako. But before we begin, let's go on this break. And that is on the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, urging Nigerians to pray for Nigeria and for President Bola Tinubu's administration while they celebrate Eid al-Fitr. So we'll go on that break, and when we come back, we'll first of all be looking at celebration of Eid amid economic hardship and insecurity, and then we'll move on to the topics we have at time. Just stay with us. To have me back, if you are just joining us, this is Firecrackers. We're just about to get started. And we are starting with celebration of Eid amid economic hardship and insecurity. And I have my guest here in the studio. I have Dr. Yemi Omodele, who is a law practitioner. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us in our studio.
Good day, listeners and viewers too. I say Barika Ramadan. Ramadan celebrations is a season of love, season of give and take, and share it as the doctrine of Islam says.
All right. So if we are to look at how things are in Nigeria, okay, well, with the raising of the CPI, I don't know if it is still right to say that we are suffering from inflation in Nigeria, but let us look at how things are economically. And then with heightened tensions concerning insecurity, if we are to look at some northern states, even Osun State, Ondo State, do you really think that this, because whenever we are having Ramadan, usually there's always decrease in crime, there's always decrease in social vices, but it seems as if social vices have not been on the rest during this period. What are your thoughts on celebrating Eid amid insecurity and economic hardship?
Well, the cause must have been political, social, and economical. Because if somebody is well fed, it will be difficult for the person to think of negative things. And if somebody is in a political party and is making headway in that political party, it will be very difficult for him to think of negative things about his political party. And you see, if somebody's purse is buoyant, the person will be happy to buy things in the market. But if the reverse is the case to all these three factors, definitely it will bring about negative thinkings. When your political party is not favorable to you, you will be thinking of negative things about the development of the country. When you don't have money to buy, the person will be thinking of how to steal. Then, if there is no money in your hand to buy something, then you will be thinking of borrowing. All revolves around what I call societal influences. Now, the just concluded Ramadan, it has come and gone. We are praying for the subsequent ones. The Muslim faithful, they've observed what they ought to observe. Now, they witness a lot of changes in terms of prayer, in terms of seeking for forgiveness, and Allah will definitely grant it. Now, the economy of the country may not be too good now, but I believe in the nearest future, or in a couple of months or years, things will be in order. Abuja was not built in a day. It took years and months. Yeah, so definitely to get our economy stabilized, it will take time because we have witnessed a lot of retrogression before and we are trying to progress now. So for us to be progressive, we need to make sure that what has been done wrong before is set to be straight now. And definitely, I think with what I read in papers, what I listened to, I think progress is being made. And I want to say, with all due respect, that in those days, during Ramadan period or Ramadan celebration, we always witness what we call queue for fuel here and there. But I think this celebration across the nation, I have not read it in any newspaper where it is stated that there was queue in Kamfancha, there was queue in Ghana Sungo State. I have not read it. But I've read it that the price of fuel changes. So, which is, must have been caused by the global economic influence on petrol. Now, but to the Muslim faithful, they have celebrated the Ramadan celebrations without queue in any filling station. I think that is a plus to the present government, with due respect. I am not saying the price of petrol or fuel is bearable, but at least you buy without stress. That is what I mean by is a plus for the present administration. Gone are the days that on Ramadan Day celebration, you will be in filling station from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is unfair. And when I was coming down to this place, I spent less than 10 minutes in buying fuel. And I bought fuel to my satisfaction and left the place. Though the price is not all that convenient, but it's a plus to the present government. And I think the government should do better again to ensure that the price goes down. Because let it go down. We have been patient, but let the price of petrol, that is fuel, goes down so that Nigerians will be more happy and feel the dividends of democracy. As the Muslim faithful, they've celebrated theirs today. The Christians, theirs is also a couple of weeks from now. They will also celebrate theirs. So during the Christian celebration of the, what they call Easter celebrations, I pray and I appeal to the government to let the price of petrol, fuel to go down.
You mean that like a promo, something to use as incentive for Nigerians to use to celebrate the holiday? Okay, like let's bring the fuel down for Ramadan or for Easter celebration. Is that what you're saying? Or you just want the fuel to just come down, the price to come down?
No, well, I'm not saying it should be a compensation for celebration. Okay. It should go down. If somebody says, Amagbiwale, we'll bring it down. The meaning is that it will be reduced. I mean permanent reduction, not temporary, not artificial, not compensatory. What I mean is that it should be brought down so that Nigerians can easily afford it. So that from what I've read and confirmed, I think some of the federal government-owned refineries are working in the country now. Then where are we? We produce the crude oil. We are refining it. We should make things comfortable for ourselves. There is nothing bad if NNPC or the refineries, Nigeria-owned refineries, working, producing daily. If they decide to bring down the price, it's not out of place. Because we own it. It's different from when you import it from India or from US or from Russia. We produce the crude oil here, we refine it here. Where are we? Let's bring it down. It's not out of place.
Okay, now we've looked at the attitude of the government, which you have credited their actions recently. Now let us look at the attitude of the citizens themselves. The two major religions that we have in Nigeria presently should be in a very spiritual mood. They should be in the mood of charity, selflessness, love for the neighbors, and all that. But now let us look at the case that happened just a few days back. Some people that were traveling through Edo State, they were going to their own state for the celebration of Eid, but then they were stopped by local vigilantes in Edo State, and because they searched them and then they found cutlasses and guns with them, they killed them, they set them ablaze, all of them died. Looking at the attitude of Nigerians, this is a time that we would expect that everyone should be praying for the prosperity of the nation. Those people that carried out those acts, are they really acted in the best interest of the nation at that time? This could be something that could have triggered some communal clashes or interstate, inter-religion clashes. How do you assess what happened?
You see, I am aware that the federal government swung it an action and came with a directive of what they call district investigation. I think the investigation should be carried out. And if done, people who may be connected to it be allowed to face the wrath of the law. Because taking somebody's life by someone is unheard and is inhuman. Personally, I don't like it. And I know no reasonable man would like that. So since the government has ordered district investigation, same be done. But be that as it may, you see, I will not tie it to any religion. Personally, I will not tie it to any religion. Because tying it to any religion may be unfair. When you say it's Christian that did it, it's Muslim that did it, it can cause crisis in the country. I would rather say that persons who involved in that had their interior motive of doing that. And if they are arrested, the interior motive will be exposed. And I think by then, the coast will be let clear. Whether it has religious tone or religious affinity. But yes, but I think the people that are involved in that must have interior motive for doing that, which will be exposed via the investigation. But let's look at it. You see, be you traditionalist, the Christian, the Muslim, the three of them are interwoven. As far as I'm concerned, in this country, there are three sets of religion. The traditional religion, the Christians, and the Muslim. The three of them, they are interwoven. Let me give you an example. People say there is Holy Ramadan. People say there is a Lent, the Christians. Are you aware that there are some traditionalists who are Muslim? Some traditionalists are Christian. So I told somebody, I said, all the religion in Nigeria, they are observing what I call fasting. Because a traditionalist, a Babalawo, who is a Christian, goes to church. And observing Lent is a traditionalist, is a Christian. Then a traditionalist who happens to be an imam or an afa, who also observed Holy Ramadan, is observing it as a traditionalist and as a Muslim. So it's 4 divided by 2, you have 2. So let's be sincere with ourselves. The whole religion in Nigeria observe what I call the fasting. Whether Lent or Holy Ramadan, all the same. Now if you look at it from this angle, there are the traditionalists, the Christians, the Muslims, they are one. Why are we fighting ourselves? Now if you look at the history of religion very well, globally, you will see that there is a nexus between the Christians and the Muslims. Okay, what brought about the separation of saying you are a Muslim, you are a Christian? It is just a single thing that caused the separation. And that thing that caused the separation is the cause of problem in this country. Even globally. Now, if there is a nexus between the Christians and the Muslims, then why are we fighting? The issue of religion is the issue of comfortability. This is what I want to do, and you have to do it. And Constitution recognizes it. You have the right to say, I want to belong to social religion. I don't want to belong to social religion. You have the right. And you can say, you also have the right to say, I want to be a traditionalist, and I also be going to church. It is allowed. Nobody can crucify for that. So if that is the major focus of the three religions is what they call eternity, heaven. They call it Al-Jannah. So if that is the purpose of that, then why are we fighting ourselves? You want to go to heaven. XY want to go to heaven. This one want to go to eternity. Then and you are fighting yourself and you are praying for eternity. That means as you are taking it with the right hand side, you are throwing it out with the left hand side, which ought not to be so. So, well, you see, at times when I listen to some people who say they are founders of churches, and some persons who call themselves Imam and Afa, and they keep what we call they preach. Some of them they give what they call wasi. Those are the Muslims. When I listen to them, I shake my head, because I shake my head in the sense that I look at them that what they are saying is not being practicalized. They only say just to satisfy some of their listeners. But if you practicalize what the Bible says, you will see that if somebody ever slap your face, you will not retaliate. But some of these people call themselves GO, DO, or DO. If you venture to do anything against them, what they will use to retaliate for you, you will ask the question, is this man a Christian? Is this man a Muslim? Is this man a traditionalist? So it ought not to be so. So what I'm saying in essence is that let us be our brother's keeper. So if we are our brother's keeper, to God be the glory, there will not be anything like crime in this country. But because of the Father, there is what we call the spirit of selfishness. That is the major cause. If you are Christian, you have money. You want to be the Alpha and Omega, only person who has money. You are a Muslim. That is not the spirit of these holy books. The spirit of this holy book is give and take, easy going. Love your brother, love your neighbor as yourself. Is it true? Are they practicalizing it? To me, they are not practicalizing it. They are just giving us their words just to satisfy us. But not in practical. They are not. They are not doing it. So I will appeal to our Muslim brothers and sisters, the Muslim faithful. Today has come and gone. Ramadan till next year. Please, the sins we have prayed against during the Ramadan period, don't let us go back to it. And our brothers and sisters who are in Christian or Christendom, who will also observe their, what they call the Easter celebration very soon, they should also practicalize it. Don't use it to satisfy people, but use it to satisfy God. And the people say, a day is coming. We are going to somewhere where we will work no more and we'll be eating free food, free air, free things. Let us pray till we see that day. That is just my advice.
All right, thank you so much for that. That is loaded information, really, and it's applicable to all religion. Thank you so much for your contribution for that topic. And really, as Ramadan is over, it is very important to say that while we are fasting, we are staying from food, we are staying from water, but also our thoughts do count. We are supposed to abstain from thoughts of violence. We are supposed to be loving. We're supposed to be giving. So, despite the fact that consumption of food at any time of the day has resumed, we should still keep to the purity of thoughts and the way we relate to our fellow men. That is very important. And with that, we'll see that Nigeria will truly become a prosperous nation, as our Vice President has urged us to do that. Keep praying for Nigeria, but really, action is what matters in this. All right, now it's time for us to move on to our second topic that we have for you, and that is constitutional review and matters arising from that. So let us quickly go on this break. And when we come back, we will resume discussions on our topic. Please stay with us.